the past 5 years, since his older brother introduced him to St. Charles football, this is how Nick Forsythe helps prepare for game week. His actual title? We'll let him explain.
Technically, on paper, I'm a manager, but I kind of work as both a manager and an athletic trainer. So if somebody needs to be taped up, I can tape them up, or if I need to fill up water bottles, I do that too.
So as the Comets prepared for an undefeated and highly ranked Class 3A playoff opponent, this student manager and aspiring athletic trainer knows all about facing challenges on a greater scale.
I was diagnosed with juvenile dermatomyositis, which is an autoimmune disease, and I was diagnosed at age 3. I fought this disease for years, and it finally went into remission about 4th or 5th grade. And since then, I've just been trying to work on getting my range of motion back. I've gone through 3 surgeries attempting to get some range of motion in my arms back.
Late in the regular season, St. Charles head coach Frank Monica told Nick that he planned to dress him out for senior night.
It took me a while to get it through my head that this was actually going to happen, that it wasn't just some promise somebody was making that they weren't going to carry through with.
But this was no broken promise. Like every other senior on the Comets team, Nick was recognized before the final regular season game to meet his parents at midfield.
I got there, I could see my mom was already tearing up a little bit. My dad had a big grin on his face. I was just trying to hold it together because, I mean, I'm on the 50-yard line in front of all these people. I didn't want to break down on the 50-yard line.
It was the first in a series of emotional events that night for Nick. And as the opening kickoff grew closer, so did the butterflies.
I started getting real nervous. And my friend Jeffrey Hall just kind of laughed and just told me that there was really nothing to be worried about, because now it's just like every other night. But the only difference was this time I was going to have pads on.
So there was Nick, pads on, helmet on. And as the Comets came exploding through the Spirit poster, they did so with Nick leading the way, carrying the traditional Comet hammer. The pregame march may not have broke any speed limits, but the image of Nick leading the Comets into battle set the tone against an Edie White team who on a night like this never had a chance. With the Comets already up 58-0, Nick got a little more than he even imagined when offensive coordinator Ty Monica gave him the news he wasn't quite expecting.
He said, "Nick, we're going to put you in for a play." And I looked at him, and the first words out of my mouth were, "What did I do to you?"
What he did was put Nick in for one play, an otherwise uneventful short running play that no one at Thomas Dupuis Stadium that night will ever forget.
It was great to see how the crowd reacted to him, and to see a guy like that get his chance to go on the field and feel what we feel every Friday, something we might take for granted sometimes. It was a beautiful thing to see.
And we want to do something special for him because he deserved that. He'll be here tomorrow morning washing clothes and whatnot, and so just to dress him out and just to play him was very, very special to us, and he certainly deserves that recognition.
Even when the game was over, the emotional night for Nick was not. The older brother Blake, who introduced Nick to Coach Monica 5 years earlier, now an assistant at Edie White, and had a front row view for the whole thing. So with back-to-back playoff wins, St. Charles will be working hard for the Thanksgiving holiday, preparing for the quarterfinals. And Nick, well, he's back to his old job, with a lifelong memory already tucked away. In LaPlace, I'm Eric Ritchie for CST Tonight.